Hey everybody, welcome back to the Little Wing course. In this video, we're gonna go over the amazing solo on this song by Jimmy. So I'm gonna show you the whole solo as I transcribed it from the isolated track, which was incredible to hear. It was literally just his solo with the band, very faint in the background. And then there's the fade out. In that isolated track, there's a little bit extra than what you hear in the fade out, but then it still kind of ends abruptly. So just to make it an even 6 verses, I improvised a little bit at the end, just a few riffs, and then came back with one of Jimmy's classic riffs that he did in the earlier part of the solo. So we're gonna go over all of that. So like I said earlier in the course, the ultimate way to learn anything is by ear. And if you could internalize something by ear, it's easier to then move it to the guitar. So all these phrases, keep the song open somewhere in your browser so you can hear Jimmy. Try to hum each phrase that you're learning so that you really feel that rhythm and the contour of the melody, and then use my fretLIVE animations to help contextualize it, define what you're playing, and then hopefully some of the other tips I provide are just helpful for you. All right, so let's jump in. So the solo starts right on the root note of that E minor chord. You might not be able to tell that from the fretLIVE, but when we bend this note, which is the 7th, up to this note, which is the root, we get the root. So we go, and then give it a little vibrato up top. So now this song is all about these accurate, tasty bends. So my recommendation to you is to just master this fulcrum technique. And that's where this is the main movement that's going on. And most of the strength is coming from here and control. The fingertips do very little actual moving, maybe tiny bit here and there just to adjust the intonation. But so what I'm doing is I'm taking my 3rd finger, I've got this part of my hand touching the side of the neck, right? I bring my fingers in like this, curve them in. 3rd finger contacts the note. 2nd finger provides support. 1st finger acts as a mute, really. It's a little bit of a support, more of a mute, to just mute all these surrounding strings, which we're going to be pushing on, right? Because they can make a lot of unwanted noise. And then the thumb keeps the guitar from going up. So there's some downward pressure on the thumb. There's a bit of a squeeze. So, and then for that vibrato, it's just a little bit of that. A little bit of this fulcrum up top. That kind of movement. So, and you want to test the accuracy. Play this note and then bend up to that note. And then see, do they match? See how quickly you can match it. See, I went too sharp there. See if you can pre-bend to it. Too sharp. Pretty dead on. Too sharp. Too flat. Perfect. Perfect. Too flat. Too flat. Too sharp. Too flat. Right? So just in a matter of a minute, I started to get better at that. And obviously you can as well. All right, so then we do it again. Bend, then bend, release and play again. And here we want. So I'm kind of hitting it with my pick and following it back down to deaden it on the way down. Or we can release pressure and drop our finger down. Release pressure on the top and drop your finger down, but don't take your hand off or that's gonna happen. Just release the pressure. And it comes back down. So instead of, we don't want that. So we've got down to the 12th fret on that B string, then a hammer on. But listen to the rhythm here, because even the great Pilkey, he went like this, or something like that, but it's, and again, you can do whatever you want, but if the first part of the goal is to let's play it exactly like Hendrix did and then change it, let's stick with that. Right? A little vibrato. Again, that fulcrum technique. So you just want to really just get the mechanics of that down first, and then slowly try to speed it up. Then that's called a pre-bend. So we pre-bend to that note, and then drop, and then to the 12th fret of the G string. So we've got love that. So now we take that note in the pentatonic, 14th fret on the G, and we give it almost a whole step bend. But if it's not quite, it still sounds cool, right? Even that sounds good. But it's just about a whole step. So once we get to the top, then bring the pinky down here to get that 12th fret of the B. And at the same time, you can let go of this one, because that first finger is muting that string out. If I didn't have the first finger there, it would be really noisy, right? So the first finger really acts as a mute, and I also have my palm, you know, muting that G string. I can just come down. You want to get really good control of where your palm is sitting, because that could also help mute unwanted strings. So not this, but this. So I'm using the pick to kill it and follow it down. So really slowly. See, my pick touched it right there, followed it down, and then picked it again. Then 12 to 14 on the G, and then an up, down, up. Whole step. I personally have a tendency to go a little bit sharp, because I usually have my bridge floating, which fights the bend. So you have to bend a little bit further when you have a floating tremolo. Now that I have it fixed to play this song, I'm a little bit sharp with some of my bends. So then while we're up there, then we hit it again, follow it down. Then 12th fret on the G to 14th on the D. So that whole thing, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then so 12, 14 whole step bend. Then we got to go back to 12. So again, I'm using that pick to follow things down. Just very lightly, the pick is just ready to touch that string as a mute. Instead of, that's if I didn't do it. Whole step bend, 12, 14, and then 14 on the adjacent string lower on the D. Then again, 12, 14, 12, 14 twice. Then we slide the third time we do 12, 14 on that G. So we got then, love that, 14 whole step bend, bring it down, and again, we could bring it down just by releasing pressure. We don't have to use the pick, it's kind of a combination of the two, but those little nuances are what really make this sound so vocal and natural. And then a little pull off from 14 to 12. So then that a little half step bend. Right before that. So on that 14th fret half step bend. Then and that is 13 to 12 on the B string. Da, 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 da. E minor scale. And it's a pull off. So I'm just kind of rotating my finger to go from that note to that. It's like a little, just a roll. Then back to that first bend with a little vibrato on top. So here's the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there, after we're there, we hit it again up top and drop it down. Then to the 12th fret. Then here, It's my favorite part of the solo. Alright, so what we got here is he's playing off the arpeggios. We got a G to an F, then a C to a D. So here on the G, here's our arpeggio, 1, 3, 5, 1. He's playing the 5-1 with his pinky and bending up to the 3. So that's the first step. Try to get this sound going like this. Then he does the same thing on the F chord. There's the 5-1. So it's then we're going to play off this arpeggio, 1, 3, 5 on the C, but play it pinky, third finger, second finger, and then we're going to arpeggio, but then we're going to do this riff from the second to the third, hammer on pull off, back to the root. So almost sounds classical, like classical music. Then slide it up to the D chord. So, and then this sounds really classical. Sounds like something Bach would do. So that double stop. So same fingering. But now we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. And you could keep hitting that note as you play it, the 5th. Cool, right? So then we do the good old. Then back to. So then, but hit it again up top. Same, up, then hit it again when it's down. So we can do a combination of releasing pressure and touching it with the pick. Then, but then now we're going to bend this string the G string on the 14th fret instead of that same note, right? Now this part was hard to transcribe. You'd never hear it in the record. He actually goes, he pulls off from the 14th fret on the D to the open string. Cool, right? Leave it to Hendrix. Where I see a lot of people go like that. Same thing, same notes, but the open string is one octave lower. So, and then very similar to the, but we're just doing this one note, and that's so the whole thing is just keeping the pinky flat, not moving it, and having the independence of that third finger. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 are slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then while we're up top, drop it down. Then drop it down, stay on that string. 12, 14, 14, 12. Rolling that finger. Right, so not finger roll. Then bend 14 and bring it down. Then 12, 14, 12, 14 on the D string. Now this is pretty much all you hear before the fade out. Then we have, yeah, and that's pretty much where it ends, right where I just ended on the isolated track. Then we just flatten out this first finger on the 12th fret, hit a double stop on the G and B strings, then jump down to the A string 12th fret. Then 12, 14, double stop on 12 on the middle two strings. Back to 12 on the A, then run up the pentatonic. Double stop on A and D, 12th fret. 14th fret on the A. Double stop on the middle two strings, 12th fret. Back to the 14th on the A. Then that middle two string double stop on 12 to 14 on the D. Now this is improvised on my part. Then I go to 12th fret on the G. Slide into the House of Blues. Pattern 2, top 3 strings. Do a Hendrix flam. Then I've been listening to a lot of R&B. It just kind of has that flavor. So then I'm barring these two on the pentatonic, 15th fret, and doing a flam hammer-on pull-off on the high E. Then doing a flam to 17, then the double stop on 15. So then same thing in pattern 3. Now I think it sounds really dope to bar this note too. I know in rehearsals for the video I was doing that. I don't think that came out in the video. So just to bar 17th fret top 3 makes it sound more jazzy. Then 20, 17 on the B. Then super bluesy. And that's just classic bluesy. So and that is 15, 12, keeping that finger down, 15, 12 on the B to 12 on the E, then back to 15, 12. Then running down the blues scale here, 15, 14, 12. And then 14, 12. And that I do pull off, pick, pick, pull. Pick, and these are a lot of pull-offs, hammer-ons. Pull off, pick, then pull off again. Pick, pick, pull. And that's just little trill, right? 12 to 14 hammer pull. And then same but at half the speed. And then back to 14 on the D, back to 12, and then another hammer on pull, but not as fast. So and then I ended it on that the same way he ended it, the first verse on the solo. And with distortion, that whole ending part,